You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
The game is over, and a full recap is coming your way, including...
Hey, Wild fans, this is John Hines, head coach of the Minnesota Wild. Don't go anywhere. I'm joining shortly to recap everything from this one on the Minnesota Wild postgame show. But first, from the Bob Kurtz Radio Center, here's Kevin Fallness.
Snow all over the right side of his equipment. He'll stay out there. His shoes lugs it ahead. Navigates over the blue line. All by himself. Will take it back out the center. Roll it to Kaprizov, who reattacks. Break through the slot. Kaprizov, a shot. He scores! Kirill Kaprizov wins it in overtime!
13th career overtime winner for Kirill Kaprizov. Wild bust up a 5-game losing streak on home ice, and they get the overtime win tonight over the Detroit Red Wings. Welcome to the postgame show. Kevin Fallness downstairs in the Bob Kurtz Radio Center, upstairs in the Al Shaver press box. Tom Reed watched another gem. They fought tooth and nail in this one, Tom, all the way to the end. And in the end, this time, no, they didn't get stunned in the final 15 seconds like they did in Montreal. They gave the home team something to cheer about.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin. No doubt about it. You always wonder what's going to happen when you get into a game like this. And I know that Detroit has really played well this year. I mean, they're a team certainly on the rise. But tonight was Minnesota. They couldn't get the lead, though. They had to wait to get to overtime in order to take the lead in this hockey game. But they found a way to win here, to get the 2 points. And the fact that Dallas lost, and I believe, to the Columbus Blue Jackets by a score of 1-0 in that hockey game puts them just one tick ahead of the Dallas Stars right now. But you know what? There's lots of times left right now. Minnesota's got some big games coming up here. This is the start of a 4-game homestand for Minnesota, and home is where you want to win a lot of those hockey games. Hopefully Minnesota will continue to do just that.
Well, you kept trying to calm me in the worries about Kirill Kaprizov. Hadn't scored a goal, had 3 goals in like the last 16 games. Comes into this one, no goals in quite a while. Hadn't scored since January 8th, and yet you said, don't worry about it. He's getting points. 7 points in the 3-game road trip. Well, you shut me up pretty good tonight, Tom. 2 goals and an assist, including the overtime game winner. I think everything's okay with Kirill Kaprizov.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Kevin. But, you know, players who get points are going to get the points. Sometimes they won't get them in bunches. Sometimes they will. But at the same time, they're going to play their game, and eventually it's going to break open for them. And that was exactly what happened here. I know as a goal scorer, I would think with him especially, he needs the confidence that he can score some goals. He gets a couple here tonight, which was a huge win for Minnesota.
And how about Quinn Hughes, Tom? I mean, I don't know what more we can say about him, but yet another multi-point game, 3 assists on the night, and now, again, the running total, 24 points in 20-some games. I think it was this game number 20 for Quinn Hughes in a Wild uniform, and 24 points, just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a calming effect on the ice also. You see him, he never gets out of position. He's never gets excited or rattled out there. He knows exactly what he has to do, but he's so good. He's such a gifted skater that plays right into his hand. I mean, he knows exactly what he has to do, and he does it, and he does it in a very quiet way. I say quiet, but at the end of the night, he's 3 assists. You're not very quiet.
8th time in the last 15 games the Wild have gone past regulation. 4 of them they've lost. 4 of them they've won. All 4 of those wins come in overtime, including tonight. Wild get the win, and now get ready for Game 2 of the 4-game homestand. Comes your way Saturday night, Tom, against the 2-time defending Cup champs. Hockey Day Minnesota was going to be awesome regardless, but what a way to cap things off.
Yeah, but they're playing Florida. Florida's had their moments this year. They're not quite the team they were last year, but they can change that in a hurry also. They've had some injuries. They've had some problems there, but at the same time, they're still a very good hockey club. They're still the Stanley Cup champions until someone tells me otherwise.
I know they're going to celebrate Hockey Day Minnesota in Hastings. How will you celebrate Hockey Day Minnesota at Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub?
Well, we'll have it on all day long. Everything, all the different things that are going to be broadcast, all the different storylines and so on from the high school level will be shown, both boys and girls, and it should be a great time. Hopefully the people will weather the storm. Come on out. You're in Minnesota. There's a reason you live here. Get your snowmobile, bring it down there. You can park it right along the building there. But they've done a great job down there, so let's go down and support them all the way through.
Yeah, tell them Tom Reed sent you. Tom, thank you. We will talk to you Saturday night.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Tom Reed upstairs in the Al Shaver press box following an overtime win over the Detroit Red Wings. The Wild could not get in front of this hockey game until the very end. Finally, Kirill Kaprizov puts him over the top, gets the overtime winner, the 13th of his National Hockey League career, and the Wild are rolling once again. Get that first win on home ice in the year 2026. Good way to start the homestand. Good way to start the post-game show. When we continue, Joe O'Donnell down by the Wild locker room, John Hines and more. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino. Well, if they're going to make us stay up to almost midnight to get the completion of the hockey game, we may as well have some fun, right? And we did have some fun through regulation. 6 goals scored. Almost 70-some shots on net combined. But it was tied 3-3 past regulation. We go to overtime, and you need a big goal. Who are you going to turn to? It better be your superstar. Once again, Kirill Kaprizov comes through with the Grand Casino play of the game.
Snow all over the right side of his equipment. He'll stay out there. Hughes lugs it ahead. Navigates over the blue line. All by himself. Will take it back out the center. Roll to Kaprizov, who reattacks. Break through the slot. Kaprizov, a shot. He scores! Kirill Kaprizov wins it in overtime! Adam Abrams.
27th goal of the season, second of the game, number 97, Kirill Kaprizov. Assisted by number 43, Quinn Hughes. Time of the goal, 45 seconds in overtime.
How much fun is that? Some fun down at Grand Casino Arena. They got it done tonight. Kirill Kaprizov, a 4-game point streak, 10 points in the last 4 games, 2 goals. Both of them come tonight. Now 5 goals in the last 17 games, but 2 in the last 1 against the Wings. He's got a career-long 7-game point streak, and tonight delivers his 13th overtime game winner. That is well worth the Grand Casino play of the game, where Minnesota comes to play. Visit GrandCasino.com to plan your next visit. When we continue, Joe O'Donnell, I'm promised, will join us down by the Wild locker room, plus John Hines and more. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
We'll take it back out the center. Roll to Kaprizov, who reattacks. Break through the slot. Kaprizov, a shot. He scores! Game show continues. Joe O'Donnell outside the Wild dressing room, joined by the game-winning goal scorer, Kirill Kaprizov. How you doing, my friend? How was that one?
Yeah, it was a good game. Especially we was down in third, then come back, and it feels good to take this win in overtime. And yeah.
Tuesday was obviously a tough one, right? You give up the game winner with 15 seconds left. As a leader of this team, how do you quickly flush that one and get ready for another game?
Yeah, it was a tough one. Yeah, and then last seconds we give the goal and lose the game in 1 goal. But we almost come back in Montreal game. We have chance after face-off and it don't go in. But we was happy to come back at homestand and play here in our funds.
Take us through the overtime winner. Quinn Hughes got hacked out by Dylan Larkin, lost his stick. Then you got dumped by Dylan Larkin, lost your stick. You look at the ref, and 10 seconds later you win the game. Just walk us through the shift.
What? Sorry?
Well, just take us through the play, the shift out there in overtime.
It's nice play by Queenie. We lose pucks, but we still have... we lose sticks and then have puck, and a nice play by Queenie. He come back, give me. I just take speed and have chance for the shot and just try to shoot to the net. That's it. You
didn't have a goal your last 5 games. I know when you go through those stretches, it's certainly, you feel it, right? Because you want to contribute every way you can for this team. Coming to a game like tonight, what's your mindset knowing that, again, you're getting a little bit healthier but still missing some key guys and trying to shoulder that load?
Yeah, it's tough when you can't score, and especially when team lose, and when team won, it's fine, but when you can score so many games in a row, it's a little bit tough, especially for me. Like when try keep scoring more goals in every year. But I try to stay positive, and don't focus too much on how bad in goals, and just try to stay positive and keep going, keep shooting more in next game, and something go in probably.
Yeah, well, it felt like when that first one went in, your reaction was like, oh, that one's going to go in, right? Kirill Kaprizov joins us on the postgame show. The Wild beat the Red Wings 4-3 in overtime. Just two more questions for you, if you don't mind. Let's start with the power play. Without Boldy and without Eric Schneck for a while, it had a different look, and the coaching staff stays with that. With Tarasenko and Hartman out there, and power play kept rolling. What have you liked about this sort of new look top unit?
I feel we can play like that and like that. I feel we was in the road pretty good power play, and coaches probably want to stay us for the next couple of games and see how it's going. And it's guys play really good, and it's hard to play right in net front and Vladdy, and we can switch. Sometimes I'm there. It's sometimes it's a little bit easy when you have righty and lefty and more options, to the play. But yeah, it's feel good both ways, and Videki and Bolts too, doesn't matter.
Well, a couple weeks back, Ryan Hartman told me it's not the first unit and the second unit, it's 1A and 1B, because he was part of that, the 1B, the second power play unit for a while there, Ryan Hartman. He was scoring on the power play, and certainly it's nice for the man advantage, no matter who's out there, to keep converting. Lastly, Florida Panthers come in here on Saturday. They've won the Cup back-to-back years. What's it like to go up against a team that's been there and done that?
Yeah, it's a good team. Everyone knows the guys won 2 years in a row, and but it's New Year, and we just be ready for everyone, and just keep playing our game like against other teams, and just play.
It's Hockey Day, Minnesota. It's a great celebration of the sport all across the state, the whole day. Has it been cold enough for you yet? Outside?
I don't think so. It was cold.
Yeah, where you're from, this is pretty standard.
Back home it was colder. A couple of weeks ago, I think a week ago, maybe it was so much colder. But I think tomorrow should be cold. Yeah. Have fun. I think who played tomorrow? Minnesota.
Iowa and Milwaukee.
Yeah, Iowa and Milwaukee. Have
You're
fun
check
too,
out.
guys. It's really so cold.
Not for you.
Take heaters.
We'll let them know you send your regards. Thanks for doing this. Congrats on the overtime win.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Kirill Kaprizov outside the Wild dressing room. Back to you, Kevin.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it a little bit in the broadcast, Joe, that some of the social media warriors a little worried about Kirill Kaprizov. I think he shut him up tonight.
Yeah, I think he did. And kudos, shout out our guy Pat Micheletti for going to battle with all those guys that had a lot to say. I mean, he's on pace for 45 goals or whatever it is. I think that was part of Pat Micheletti's point. And, I know he makes a lot of money. He will make even more money. The pressure will be on him. But you can just hear him. He's such an energizing player. He loves the game. He has so much passion, and he's a competitor. And when he's not performing, as you heard, it weighs on him. He knows he's just got to keep shooting the puck, and good things happen. All
right, Joe, stay warm. We'll talk to you Saturday for Hockey Day, Minnesota.
Thanks, Kevin.
Joe O'Donnell down by the Wild locker room with tonight's hero, Kirill Kaprizov. 3 points on the night, 2 goals, including the overtime game winner. Wild get the victory. Kirill Kaprizov gets a gift certificate down to Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub. Right up the street from Grand Casino Arena, Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub. Twofers during each and every Minnesota Wild game, home and away. They're home again on Saturday, Wild hosting the Panthers. We'll preview that. Plus, we'll get you John Hines when we continue. This is Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino. let's not forget, we're talking a lot about Kirill Kaprizov tonight, but Matt Zuccarello had a pretty good hockey game as well. That huge goal in the third period tied the game at 3 apiece, and who knew at that time that would get the game past regulation. Zuccarello's 8th of the season gets it done, 6-11 of period number 3, and that's a huge marker. Like I said, that gets the game past regulation, and then his little buddy Kirill Kaprizov can be the overtime hero with his second of the hockey game, 27th of the season. It's an overtime win for the Wild as they beat the Detroit Red Wings. Looks like, I could be wrong, but it looks like John Hines is ready to address the media. So, without further ado, let's send you down by the Wild locker room and check in with the head coach of the Minnesota Wild, John Hines, in progress.
John, Kirill, you could see on the first goal his relief of just scoring. He's been fighting it, but it felt like he was leading up to a game like this.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's had so many looks, and it was nice to see him get rewarded. I think he probably could have had 4 tonight. I think he hit two crossbars and had multiple looks. So it's nice that he was able to convert. I think just the way that he's played for us, as of late, really good job on the road trip. Had lots of opportunities to score, but didn't. So tonight he came through big on home ice, so that was good.
Do you think the addition of Quinn alleviates the pressure he puts on himself, or he will always that's irrelevant to him that he has somebody else there to?
Yeah, I think it's irrelevant. I think he's got high expectations of himself, and he is a scorer. So, I think the thing that helps though is even when the puck wasn't going in the net for him, he was still able to produce with I think 7 assists in 3 games on that road trip. So, he was still impacting the game that way. But it's always nice when a scorer, finds the back of the net.
Have you ever seen a defenseman like Quinn, the way that he, a foot inside the blue line, inches inside the blue line, could spin away from guys? And, usually those are plays that would give a coach a heart attack.
Yeah, not at that level. You've had, I had the opportunity to coach Roman Yossi in Nashville, who's a similar style of defenseman to Hughesy, a little bit different, but I just Hughes' mobility and his edge work is what, I think separates him. That allows him to be able to, make those types of plays and spin out of things, and even when he runs the blue line and kind of spins out, and then just his ability to get his body around it to trigger the puck is pretty impressive.
And he does it so effortlessly, it seems, right? Like it's just a second skill to him.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just innate, and that's why I think that's kind of what makes him unique. There's a lot of offensive defensemen in different ways, but I'd say in that element, he's top end.
How just impressed you, just the way that Zuki, stuck with it tonight? These were, tough minutes that he got on this road trip as well, and to battle back 3 different times, but twice by him.
Yeah, Zuki had a heck of a night, and it was good. I think that line was very good again tonight, but I also, I just like even the Montreal game, like we, come out. They're all over us. We get some goaltending. We fight our way back into the game, probably in some adverse circumstances, and then you get the goal at 15 seconds. We come back, almost tie the game, with 10 seconds left in the game, and then to lose that style of game, to be able to come back tonight, play well, and stay with it, and come from behind. After the second period, I felt like we probably deserved more goals than we got, but we didn't veer away from the game. We dug in and continued to do what we were doing in the second, and we stayed with it. And to me, that's growth of just understanding how do you get better as a game goes on, not pushing or trying to do something different if the pucks don't fall in the net, but truly understanding that you're doing some good things and you got to dig into it even harder and stay with it. And I thought we did that tonight.
What do you like about Hartman on the number 1 power play that you didn't switch it with Ekbak?
Well, I think the unit's been clicking, so that's number 1. I do think that the hands do match up. I think Tarasenko's been good on the power play. Hartsy's been good there. So I think it prior to the trip, I think the power play had some looks, but it wasn't executing. And I think, when the power play was clicking, we just didn't feel like we should break it up. And they came through again tonight.
You've been on the road a lot, obviously, but this is the first home win in more than a month. A late game, cold night. You got a big crowd that came out. Feel like the fans kind of earned this one?
Yeah, certainly. We certainly appreciate our fans. I think the building's been, rocking here for a while for us, and we were disappointed we didn't come up with some more wins on the last homestand. But for a place to be basically packed and great energy in the building, like you said, on a freezing cold night at a 8:42 puck drop, that's. I'm glad we were able to come through for the fans tonight.
Did you hear how Boldy fared from the hard skate today?
He responded very well, so we'll see how he is tomorrow. All right, stay warm.
There you go, the head coach of the Minnesota Wild, John Hynes, with the media following the overtime win. We'll get a brief word from Quinn Hughes when we continue, and we will wrap things up as we preview Hockey Day Minnesota. It's right around the corner. It's 2 days away. Well, now basically 1 day away, now a day and 15 minutes as we near the midnight time here in the Central Time Zone. But we'll get you ready for Hockey Day Minnesota. Wild hosting the Panthers to cap things off. That's coming up after a break. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by Grand Casino.
Yeah, I mean, he's too good where things are going to fall for him. I mean, he's been on the score sheet a lot, so I know it was on his minus score, but I think when you make that many plays, it's all about just the percentages. If you get 3-4 great A's a game, sometimes those three are gonna go in, and sometimes they're not, and just sticking with the percentages and they should fall.
That's the voice of Quinn Hughes. The depth scoring got the Wild through the road trip, but the superstars were shining tonight, including Quinn Hughes. 3 points on the evening. His fourth game as a member of the Minnesota Wild with 3 or more points. He's now got 2 goals and 24 points in 20 games in a Wild uniform. It's his 8th game with 3 points, or with a multi-point outing. Quinn Hughes has been unbelievable. The Wild, past regulation, 8 of the last 15 games have gone past regulation. They've lost 2 in overtime. They've lost 2 via the shootout, but they've won 4 in overtime, including tonight, Kirill Kaprizov with the Grand Casino play of the game.
Snow all over the right side of his equipment. He'll stay out there as Hughes lugs it ahead. Navigates over the blue line. All by himself. Will take it back out the center. Roll it to Kaprizov, who reattacks. Break through the slot. Kaprizov, a shot. He scores!
Overtime game winner for Kirill Kaprizov, and those of you that were worried about the fact that he hadn't been putting pucks in the net, well, all he does is extend his point streak to 4 games, and that's 10 points in the last 4 games, including a pair of goals tonight, a 3-point nighting, and a 3-point outing for Kirill Kaprizov in the overtime victory. Matt Zuccarello, 4-game point streak as well, 3 goals and 8 points in the last 4 contests. His 41st career game with 3 or more points, 22nd with the Minnesota Wild, 5th most in franchise history. And not to be outdone, let's not forget about Philip Gustafson, who gets the XL Energy big saves of the game. Does so with 31 saves, improves to 17-9-5 on the season. Philip Gustafson now 10-1-2 in his last 13 starts. Tonight's victory, win number 100 in the career of one Philip Gustafson. That's your game recap. Up next for the Wild, they shall prepare for Hockey Day Minnesota. Are you going to Hastings? Hopefully, at the very least, you'll take in all the festivities on your television screen, because that's the nightcap of Hockey Day Minnesota. Saturday night, Game 2 of the 4-game homestand. And it'll be the 20th anniversary of Hockey Day Minnesota, the bulk of the action in Hastings, but the nightcap is the Wild hosting the 2-time defending Cup champs. They finally got Matthew Tkachuk back. Saturday will be his 3rd game of the season. Panthers are heating up. They won in Winnipeg tonight and have won 4 of their last 6 overall. Wild and Panthers, 7:45 pregame on Saturday night. Pregame puck drops just after 8 o'clock on most of these same stations. Hopefully you'll join us. Special thanks to Aaron Sickman, Jackson Riebel, Dylan Daniel, Chris Turns, Brett Miller, and Halvey. And for Joe O'Donnell and Tom Reed, I'm Kevin Fallness. What a night that was, and what a win for your Minnesota Wild. They bust up a 5-game losing streak on home ice. Can they make it 2 in a row on Saturday? What a way to cap the 20th anniversary of Hockey Day Minnesota if they can dethrone the defending Cup champs. Hear all the action exclusively here on the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
You have been listening to Minnesota Wild Hockey.
Fired one to the back post. Gustafsson made a great save. Thompson in the slot, waiting, shooting. Gustafsson to save.
Join us next time, right here, for more Wild Hockey action.
25 seasons of Wild Hockey.
Wild Hockey is an exclusive presentation of the Minnesota Wild, the National Hockey League, and the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
For an extraordinary advantage in sports, you need a game plan. For an extraordinary advantage everywhere else, all you need is Acrisure. With a high-tech human approach to insurance, cybersecurity, and more, Acrisure helps you take care of what you care about. That makes winning easy. See what Acrisure's extraordinary advantage can do for you at Acrisure.com.